right. Go, Laura.
Okay. Everyone bear with me.
No, we won't, but we'll try.
Surprisingly enough, this is long. I wrote it this afternoon, and that's why it's very sloppy and out of order, so just bear with me because I need to recopy the whole thing, okay? Alright, here goes. On behalf of all the members of the Millard Fillmore Award Association, I am happy to present this year's award to Stephen Rose.
What? Nobody knew we won, Mom.
Nobody knew.
We casted our votes separately.
You got me.
Steven, that's wonderful.
It was a majority. All right.
How many people
It's
voted
okay.
for me? It has to be a majority, always.
Oh, you're too young, sweetie.
So?
You got to do something outstanding. Then we'll
Or idiotic. Or not doing it.
Right.
Many ways for Steve. I can remember as far back as Steve's first car.
It was a joke.
It was a joke, but no one really said anything at first. Remember, I said it first. After all, it was his first car. We tried to encourage him and discourage him from wrapping it around a telephone pole or abandoning it in Patterson for the night. Sometimes this car, or beast, seemed to cause Steve more problems than good. Like the times when it would stall in the dead of bumper-to-bumper traffic, or when Steve would put it in drive and floor on the gas pedal up hills or around turns just to keep it from stalling. But that was the least of it. Most people's cars only cause them problems when they drive or attempt to, but not Steve's car. There were still permanent puddle marks in the street and the driveway of where Steve's gas tank leaked while it was parked. A permanent trademark, I guess you would call it. But it wasn't all bad. It was Steve's car, and just by looking at it, you could tell. He's as smart.
Drink to that. There, we'll drink to that.
Steven's car.
Size of the streets.
As smart and creative as he is, he built his own home inside his car. He had hooked up his scanner for the first aid squad through the ashtray. I don't know how, but I do know that anyone who attempted to sit in the front seat was sure to be attacked by the roaming wires. He also had hooked up a radio as well. He had his clothes, food, and garbage in that car, so that's why I called it his home. Oh, I almost forgot. I did have some fun with it even though it wasn't mine. On the extremely rare mornings before school, when I was ready before Steve, Steve would ask me to warm up the car for him. Now I wasn't sure. Can't read it so slow. Now, I wasn't sure what I was doing, but I knew where the gas pedal was and I knew where to put the key. Or as Tripper would say, insert coin to start. So I would go outside, put in the key. And the pedal all the way to the floor. Steve could be upstairs in the bathroom combing his hair, and he would scream at me so loud that the neighbors could hear. Then comes Stephen screaming, running outside, half-dressed, screaming every word imaginable. After he practically tore off the door and nearly killed me, then he would usually let me the next day, do it again the next day. That seemed fairly normal. Then there was the day Steve came home and told everyone that he wanted to be in the Triborough First Aid Squad. Now Steve shocked us all with this one. Although I do remember being a lot younger, and Steve would come home with stories and pictures of car accidents and mangled bodies, and to him that was so cool. Don't worry.
Oh, that's cool. The 10 guys just died on the George Washington Bridge. Oh, Steve.
Don't worry, you'll grow out of it, Steve, I thought to myself.
He hasn't yet.
But he didn't. Now, though, it was for real. He was saving people at these accidents. He was the one saving people at these accidents. I remember when he was first learning, he came home one night totally grossed out of his mind because he saw a film of how a baby was born.
And he said, I never even thought I'd get married.
Did you say he was grossed out of his mind?
Yeah, because that's what he said. He's like, I'm so grossed out.
You had a tough year.
But yet, blood and guts all over a windshield didn't seem to faze him. I still wonder about that.
It's my kid?
This one is the one I'm worried about.
Oh, right.
Mom.
The real excitement started. Oh, wait, where's that Phyllis?
And Phyllis, you're holding up the reading.
Late. What a way to zip right through traffic.
How about that?
That's why.
I remember my first game. I scored high.
Or when he would leave the house with the scanner on, and we would think strangers were downstairs. That always let out a good laugh. Well, Steve never ceased to amaze us. When he graduated, he was awarded Student of the Year from his graduating class.
All right!
Hey! Right on!
Okay.
Student
Along
of
with
the
a
year.
performing arts certificate, a band jacket with his name on it, and cross boot and high school pen and pencil set from the drama club. There were more awards, I'm sure, but after so many, you lose track. So, Steve had a good year. I still remember the night of the talent show. Him and one of his crazy friends decided to sing one of the songs from the Blues Brothers. I'm sure you know which one Steve was. Well, 1 minute Steve is running around.
It was.
Steve is running around in a nice shirt and a pink tie. Yes, it was pink. Anyway, making sure all the sound equipment was going okay. Introducing or stalling new acts. The next minute, Steve is on the stage in all black and white and dark shades and a mic. I couldn't believe it. It was a hilarious hit. We all knew Steve loves music. He never played an instrument in the school band, but he pretty much ran the show. From everything to band compositions to the trip in Florida and New Orleans during Mardi Gras. God, bear with me, it's so messy.
Mardi Gras.
We won't discuss New Orleans, though. I'm kidding. Believe me, he had a blast. Steve
bet
loved to
it's New
travel. Steve loved to travel. If there was a trip Steve was going, Canada, the shore, the city, anywhere, he could be there. After Steve graduated,
Da, 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 da. Elevator music. Da, da, da,
Okay.
da.
Oh, I almost forgot girls. Steve figured out a theory. Steve figured out as long as girls were from different towns and schools, and as long as they didn't know each other, then he could date as many as he'd like.
Safety in numbers.
Until Christmas arrives, when all the girls' parents wanted him for dinner.
Oops, that was true. That was true. That happened.
Then there was prom weekend. I remember Steve's date was wearing a nice pink dress. Steve had a nice white tux with tails and a pink bow tie to match. Steve
Pink
decided
suspenders.
that he wanted to wear pink Converse high tops to match. Until his date's mother nearly had heart failure when he suggested the idea. So that didn't work. The
Smart
prom,
woman.
Better believe it.
the prom is over.
I love it. God, real class, Steve. Hey, you bet. All love.
The prom is over and everyone is getting ready to go down the shore. So what does Steve do? He packs everything in the car except clothes. Didn't he?
Oh,
He had
well, no comment. No
He had
comment.
3 coolers of beer, 10 million things of potato chips.
Oh my
No.
God. He was going to a brand new beach.
Steve was always a little hilarious, like the times when he just decided to start dragging one leg as we were walking through the mall, or act as though he was blind to bump into people.
Stephen!
He does.
We had so much fun doing that. And she's just as much to blame as I am. At least I had so much fun.
No.
Sounds like it could be a,
Sounds
Or
like
the
you guys
time-
had fun.
sounds like a double award coming up here.
Well, the time we went to the concert with some friends, when I came up from behind him, he gave him a hug. So he decides to yell everything from rape to security. He carries out saying, "Who are you? Get away from me. You have a lot of nerve. Boy, you are a very forward person." Remember, he doesn't warn me ahead of time, so the only way to avoid extreme embarrassment is to go along with it. He does that to me.
We did.
After Steve graduated, there was a big discussion of, what the heck do I do now? So, he had plenty of ideas, but no solid decisions. He decided to apply to the Air Force. Well, they said because of his leg trouble, he was unable to join. I think that was just an excuse. He was really too good for them, and they had nothing better to say. So he did what every other kid does who doesn't want their parents to get them out of the
Complain
course.
and kill him. Death threats.
He applied and was accepted to William Patterson College. He's now majoring in communications. Some people call it skill, but it's destiny. For someone who can talk as much as he can, it's perfect. He now
bad.
controls the radio station called WPSC.
Oh, you
Of course, you
do?
know what that
Not all the
stands
way.
for.
Boy, it's
Well,
a future
I
John
didn't
Gambler.
know what
He's a
it is
future
for.
John Gambler. Oh my gosh, turn on WOR.
Between 9 and 12 on Saturday mornings and 6 to 9 Sunday nights, which is called the Casual Corner. He seems to enjoy it and gets a kick out of college.
12
He
Saturday
says,
mornings?
Sunday morning.
He says it's a big change from high school and a lot of work. I've seen Steve grow a lot through the past year, and I know he's doing great and will continue to.
Done yet?
All right, first. We gotta get some pictures for the album.
Okay.
Wait, Laura, we gotta get pictures for the album. Can we get the cameras?
Now you
Can we get the
And
cameras?
Steven, this is the Millard Fillmore Award. Congratulations.
From the society.
From the society.
No, Laura.
This is what they do in the
For
press. They hand it to you
posterity.
35 times. So
Now you also are a member.
he's involved in
all the
secret
onerous-
society stuff.
Carol, can you
Communication.
take it from there? Because I'm getting